Hi there, folks, and welcome to the Word Solutions for this week's The Daily Rigour, issue number 220. So, in our first story, we science story for you here. A professional food and drink taster has informed us that we should never actually be using boiling water to make a cup of tea, which is something that a lot of us do. So, instead, he claims the water should be four-fifths of this amount in terms of temperature. So, what temperature should water be when making a cup of tea? Well, of course, we need to know what boiling water is in terms of a temperature. It's 100 degrees Celsius. So to find four-fifths of this, we find one-fifth by dividing by 5, and then we find four-fifths by multiplying that answer by 4. So 100 divided by 5 is 20, and 20 times 4 is 80. And of course, our units for temperature in this case are degrees Celsius. So on to story 2, our entertainment story. You know, at the Daily Rigour, we love a bit of the chase, especially when it features a wee bit of algebra. So the contestant chose answer A. So what do we think the correct answer is? And we must give a reason for our answer. So if A equals 2 and B equals 3, what is the value of AB? It's just basic substitution, isn't it? A bit of MTH314A. So the answer, of course, is going to be 6. So the answer is B, and that's because AB means A times B. And so in this case, it would mean 2 times 3, which is 6. So can we rewrite the question so that A would be the correct answer? Well, what have they done with the 2 and 3 here? They have added them. So a rewritten question could be in algebra, if A equals 2 and B equals 3, what is the value of A plus B rather than AB, which means A times B? So another example of where you might have to use your maths when you leave school. So on to our world story. So Piers Morgan requested a £9 refund from Uber Eats for a soggy Big Mac when it turned up cold and drenched in Coke. But of course, that gave us a wonderful opportunity to display this fabulous table, which shows you all the different prices for a Big Mac in various countries across the world and the exchange rates. So a Big Mac in the UK costs £3.39. Is it more expensive to buy a Big Mac in the UK or the USA? Well, what we have to do first of all is change both prices to the same currency. So you could have changed both to dollars, but I'm going to change to pounds. So in the USA, a Big Mac is $5.67. And to change this back into pounds and pence, we divide by the exchange rate. So in this case, we'd be dividing by 1.29 and then rounding to two decimal places because it's pounds and pence, isn't it? So that's £4.40. So we can clearly see here that it's more expensive in the USA, and that's since £4.40 is greater than £3.39. So then we're asked how much more expensive in pounds and pence is a Big Mac in Switzerland compared to Russia. So we're going to change the Swiss price into pounds first of all. So 6.5 Swiss francs. Again, we're going to divide by the exchange rate. So we're going to divide by 1.18, and rounding to two decimal places would be £5.51, which is quite pricey, isn't it? So now for Russia. So we've got 135 Russian ruble is the cost, and to change back into pounds, we'll divide by that exchange rate, and that comes to a measly £1.34. So we're asked how much more expensive, so make sure we answer the question. So we just have to take those two amounts away from each other to get £4.17. So if you're ever visiting Russia on holiday, make sure you visit McDonald's and benefit from those cheap prices. Okay, so on to our last story. Spare a thought for Stoke Gabriel FC. They've conceded 122 goals in just 10 games, scoring only 2 in return. And unsurprisingly, they've lost every game that they've played so far. So what is their current goal difference? Well, to calculate goal difference, we take the goals scored, which is 2, and then we take away the goals conceded, which is 122. So if we're starting at 2 on the number line and we go down 122, that's going to take us all the way down to minus 120 for a goal difference. So on average, how many goals have they conceded per game so far? So based on the information we have, we can only really, by average, we can only really calculate the mean, where we get the total and we divide by the number of numbers. So in this case, we're going to get the total goals that they've conceded, which is 122, and divide by the number of games, which is 10. So we move everything down one place value. So the 100 would become 110, the two tens would become 2 units, and the 2 units would become 2 tenths. So on average, they've conceded 12.2 goals per game, which is an awful lot, isn't it? Anyway, folks, there we have it, our word solutions for this week. We hope you enjoyed answering these questions. Stay tuned for next week's edition, when we're going to be looking at more stories from the news of the week and the numbers behind them. But in the meantime, thanks for watching, and bye for now.